be super fun today to talk about my 5 most worn items of 2019. I know it's April of 2020, but it seemed like a good time to just revisit some favorites, and maybe they'll be your favorites for 2020 if you knit them. So let's get right to it. Okay, number 5 is my spring cleaning shawl. So this is by Steve and West. I knit it on size 5s. Yep, size 5s US. With Fiber Nymph Dye Works and Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply and some other yarns, but those were the main ones. And what I love about this shawl is that it is super long, and while it looks thick in the middle, it's so easy to wrap up around my neck like a traditional scarf. I love where I put those stripes. They're always in front. And then it goes down to my knees. So I wear this with my long blue coat, and it's just like this great color pop. So part of the reason why I wear it a lot is because it is so long, and I have an outfit that it works with, that it was designed to, or I planned it to match that outfit. So it was knit in June of 2019. It actually took a little longer, but that's when the bulk of the knitting happened. So finished midway through the year, but wore it all fall and a good chunk of winter every time I wore that blue coat. So something to think about. My 4th most often worn item of 2019 is, of course, my Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. So I knit this in October of 2018. So I got to wear it in the spring and then again in the fall. And this is great. It's Feederbrook Farm Entropy, which is a DK weight yarn mixed with String Theory. The red and the purple are String Theory. What else do I have to say about it? And I knit this on size 5 needles. So it was definitely a labor of love, but it's very soft. It's bulky, it's dense. So it's like I can snuggle right into it. And so often when I'm just home, I'll throw this on because it's a good top layer. So the colors, not the greatest. I mean, I like the colors, don't get me wrong, but I don't wear these colors so much. So, but it hasn't stopped me from wearing it. So I'm really pleased with having knit this, and it does show a little bit of wear. So again, it's over a year old on the edge, and I wear it a lot, but otherwise it's held up really beautifully. So I remember the stitch being a little tedious, just like, ugh, you know, because it does end up, even though it looks small, it ends up being a lot of stitches on the needle, but it's well worth the end result. So if you're thinking about knitting a shift and you haven't, do it. It's so nice. All right, my number 3 are nice cozy pair of socks. So this, I could have really picked any pair of socks that's brightly colored that that I have some good memories knit into it. So I wear hand knit socks probably 2 or 3 days a week. No more than that, 3 or 4. Like, I don't wear them every day, and I don't necessarily wash them every time I wear them. Sometimes I'll wear them twice. But these in particular are my Grinch socks. They're made out of Red Heart, and I knit them in December 2013, and there's absolutely no sign of wear. And these and my Partying Up and Getting Down are the 2 that, if all my socks are clean, I'm going to pull those 2 first. They're my favorite to wear. So nice cozy pair of socks. And yes, these are Christmas colored, but I wear them year round, and I love them year round. And they're 7 years old or 6 years old, and I'm still wearing them all the time. So it's nice to have a good workhorse yarn that makes you happy. Brings back that. Next, my number 2. So I could have gone either way on this 1 and 2, but I decided to make this one number 2. This is the Vivid blanket that I knit for my youngest son while I was pregnant for him. So that was, I know when I was pregnant, I just looking at the dates. So that was September 2013 to July of 2014, and he was born in June. So I think I was doing the edging in July. So this is Barocco Vintage, knit on size 7s, 4.5 millimeters. And the yarn, the pattern is the Vivid by Tin Can Knits. And I just love it. I did this rainbow pattern. It makes me super happy. One of my centers had a little snag and the yarn broke, and I was able to use, it was in one of the teals, I was able to use the yarn to just seam it back up. I don't think it shows too much. So that's fine with me. So this is, I'm getting so old, guys. This is like my lap blanket. I'm embarrassed to say it, but it's so heavy, right? And it's an arm's length and a little bit more, which means it covers my core, right? From my knees to my chest. So if I'm taking a nap in a recliner or something, I'll just throw this over me and sleep. Or it could go over my toes and still get up to my waist. So it's a great blanket, good to have, not too big, not too heavy, but warm because of the worsted weight of the Barocco Vintage. So I know we all like to knit our sock yarn scrap blankets, but this is really more my go-to blanket. So, and sometimes I wear it over my shoulders too when I'm sitting in my chair at night. If Steve goes to bed early and I go sit upstairs and knit, because I don't like to be downstairs by myself at night when everyone else is upstairs. It's just a weird thing for me. So, okay, number 1. I'm keeping this on because it's number 1 and number 2, kind of. But number 1 are the Frankenfingers by Elizabeth Green Musselman. I knit these in November 2015, so they are 4 years old, and these are my go-to mittens. These, I leave them in the car or they're in the pockets of my coat. If I'm changing coats often, then I'll just leave them in the car, but if I'm gonna wear like my green coat all the time, I throw these in the pocket. So almost daily wearing these during the cold times, and I can knit with them on. They've gone to Rhinebeck twice. They are knit with opal yarn, and you can see they're pretty fuzzy. Even though they were knit on 1.5 US 2.5 millimeter needles, I knit the medium adult size, which is, it's ribbed, so there's plenty of room, but I could have definitely gone down in the wrist arm area, but whatever, I wear all the time. Are they different heights? They might be. Oh, they totally are. I bet I knew that at some point, but I have since forgotten, and no one even sees it because it's under my coat most times. But these are my most worn items. The fingers, I've made 3 pairs of gloves with fingers, individual fingers, and I remember these being very straightforward, clear, still tedious to do because it's a small number of stitches on a magic loop. That's how I do things, and still tedious, but easy to do, and the end result was nice, and I didn't have to sew between the fingers, which is something I've had to do in the past. So yes, they are well worn, and I did have someone tell me that at Rhinebeck one year I was shopping and she looked at my hands and she said, oh, it's time for a new pair. But I don't know that I'll ever let these go. I just love them so much. So yeah, the yarn's a little itchy, but it doesn't bother me. So those are my top 5 worn items of 2019. What was your most worn item? What did you wear almost every day? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching.